harbor is the largest open space in New York City. The harbor just kind of, and waterfronts, they kind of expand the mind and the soul. They're big and you're moving and it's exciting. And I can tell you as someone who's handled, very small boats that I propel myself, rowing or kayaking or small sailboats and even, larger sailboats I've steered. There's an incredible sense of self-mastery that can come out of that process and again of adventure. And it's just really great. Right now we're inside our flagship, the historic ship Mary A. Whalen, retired coastal oil tanker. I founded PortSide to increase maritime of every sort, every sustainable sort. If New York became the city that PortSide's trying to make it, you would see lots more boats. First off, you could just tell right away, there'd be more boats. But there would be more types of boats. There would be piers all over the place. There's so much more of this in Europe and also in Asia. I grew up in the 60s, I'm 62 years old, in what's now called Carroll Gardens. When I was last year of high school, first year of college, one of my American uncles with a business partner started a boatyard, first repairing wooden boats and then actually designing and building them. And I fell in love with this world. I almost got a captain's license after college. I did actually go work on boats for a little while after college and ended up instead becoming a photojournalist. So what happens is I was a photojournalist from the fall of the Berlin Wall until shortly after 9/11, two major events, bookending in 2003. So I came back to New York and I thought, well, so I don't go stir crazy, what am I gonna do? I basically morphed from being a photojournalist covering New York City Harbor to becoming an advocate. And I got a call one day from Bob Hughes, one of the owners of Hughes Marine. So Bob Hughes said to me, Carlina, we need to get the Mary Whalen out of here along with the birch barge. Do you know anyone who would want to buy the Mary Whalen? I was like, the Mary Whalen. So the idea of bringing her back to life becomes of interest as a way to train future mariners. The Mary Whalen is the last of her kind in the country of this coastal oil tanker, but people don't generally save coastal oil tankers, so you don't have that story to tell. And we can tell that. What has happened to us is actually we've been struggling with the very forces I founded PortSide to try and change. So we've been struggling to get enough space to do the fully realized PortSide. We had been promised 8,500 square feet of building space. So the lack of landside real estate pushed everything onto the ship, which made us actually find ways to use the ship. The Mary Whalen was initially conceived of as a spud barge, as a landing. A better looking one, a kind of historic one, but we didn't know anything about her history and we had no plans to have the office inside and no plans to run programs on her, just to show how we've evolved. The goal of PortSide is education, really for everybody, particularly for the younger students. It's a really exciting place, it's dynamic, it moves. Kids, particularly the younger ones, elementary school, are just walking bundles of curiosity.
What's this?
That's air. That's a good question. In order to get the engine started, you have to give it a burst of air to get the things moving.
We use the NYC ferry system to take the kids down the harbor a bit so they could have a scavenger hunt for buoys, and then they come back and they learn up in the wheelhouse why there are buoys and sound and light and charts and marine radios and signal flags. And down here in the Fiddly, they're learning the use of sound, mainly bells and jingles.
Why are those bells there?
It's for an alarm. For signals.
For signals, exactly.
Mommy!
They get to play on the boat and they're having a great time, and then they get to go inside the Mary Whalen and really get to see what an actual working boat looks like on the inside and kind of imagine what it might be like to be on a boat, to work on a boat, so it's kind of a neat experience.
We went on a ferry and we went to Bay Ridge, I'm pretty sure, and then we just hopped right back on the ferry and then came back here and went on this boat and had lunch.
Looking at boats just are interesting.
Something that entered our educational story and our institutional branding is our ship cat Chiclet, named by a visiting 4-year-old for the very small gums Chiclet because she's a very small cat. And so the cat has become an essential part of things. She's on our current fundraising flyer for our own institutional Hurricane Sandy recovery project. It's called the Barnacle Parade. So we made a large paper mache Chiclet, super large, riding the shark. So that's like very Red Hook.
And I'm a cat lover, so I was very honored to be able to work on Chiclet. We live in a hard-edged city, so we're hungry for nature. And I think kids need to grow up with that as the norm.
I love the little kid trips. They're the best. Really. They completely recharge my battery. Honestly, it's one of the things, and my voice is choking up, what got me through the pandemic was seeing the little kids out in the park, just seeing the little kids, period, but interacting with them, and then I came to realize that actually talking to me, the lady with the boat and the cat, that kind of trio of Carlina, Chiclet, and Mary was, it was all rolled up together in one story. And having the regulars, the kids who come here, like, no, come talk to me. Yeah, it was beautiful.
Gummy bear? Oh, that gummy bear. No, but it feels the same. It feels like a real gummy bear.
There we go. And tomorrow there's another trip.